All right, welcome to the podcast. I'm here. I'm Isaac, and this is Aiden. We're going to be
Hey guys.
breaking through this week's news, and so the first topic is the Scream Seven trailer. So
Yeah, that did come
I
out.
got into
It was
yeah.
it was quite an interesting look because I did actually
You
take
watched
a
it?
moment. I did actually check it out. I thought, as someone who has not really seen much of the Scream movies, it definitely didn't look bad per se.
Um, yeah. Well, I first watched them. I think last year or maybe the year before, but basically, there's um there's six of them. They're all going. This one's going back to the start. So that house featured in it. That's like from the first one. That's the main location from the first one.
Ah,
So
nostalgia.
yes. So and in this they're using it as like an Airbnb, like playing into the real because the real house, like that house, is actually a Airbnb in real life.
Yeah.
Like it's an actual thing. Like the actual set is a real house that you can visit. But yeah,
Imagine how
it
much
takes
money that
well,
would make.
it would be a lot. I think it's a lot. Like it's worth a lot of money. Um, but yeah, the series is known for. How much do you know about Scream, Aiden?
Uh, Mainly just killing.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's very much a who done it. So it's basically
Ah, yeah.
like it's like a mystery thing, kind of like Knives Out,
Yeah,
but
only
um,
horror.
but it's very much making fun of the conventions of the franchise at the same of horror movies at the same time.
Yeah,
So
right.
but yeah, so it's got like a funny tone at the same time while being serious. This one was much more serious, as you probably saw.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
so yeah, it's gone for a darker tone. It's very like the ghost face is very vicious. He looks very vicious. He's
They
like angry.
they definitely wanted it to look intense.
Yeah, he's definitely out for blood. Um, yeah. It's focusing on like the main. This is like the lady in the trailer, the main lady, Sydney. She was like the main character from the first three and four, kind of. But after that, they
Yeah,
switched to a new cast, which had like
as they do.
um yeah, they switched to a new cast like legacy sequels. But then there was like a falling out with the main cast, so they're gone, and so they brought her back, and she's this time, yeah, it's she's the main character, and it's about her daughter and her friends, and so that's what they're focusing on here. Yeah, and also interesting enough, like one of the killers from the original, well, kind of spoilers. He's said to come back in this one. Well, the actor for him, and we're not sure that is if he's coming back as like him, like he's not dead, he somehow survived or something, or if it's like um a use of a voice changer or someone impersonating him because you hear him at the end. Well, what we
Yeah,
think
right.
is him at the end, but we're not sure if he's coming back.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's definitely a very horror movie thing to do where the killer just happens to be back because of a sequel, but I'd be
yeah,
interested to see if they handle it
that's
well.
that's the interesting thing because you think because Scream's meant to be smarter than that. They're supposed to know better than just to do the obvious thing of bringing him back. So I think there's a good chance it's not actually him and it's some sort of impersonator, but we'll have to wait and see.
Guess we'll
And
find
I
out
think
at
that
some point.
yeah, and I think that comes out in February next year,
Which
which
is
is
actually quite close. Wow, we're
it's
already in
sooner than I
November.
thought. We got the first trailer like a few days ago, so they're very much marketing. Well, they did it because of Halloween, obviously,
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
but yeah, it should be good. Looks good. I like Scream a lot, but yeah, it'll be interesting. Do you
100%.
want to? Yeah. Do you want to talk
So,
about
while we're
Stranger
yeah, while
Things?
we're on the yeah, while we're on the topic of trailers, the Stranger Things season 5 trailer also came out. It looks honestly quite awesome. I was quite happy with what I saw. It's very much leaning a lot more heavily into the upside down and all the creatures and those fun stuff
Yeah,
than each other prior season. Like even just from the first few shots of the trailer, you can see how much more they've leaned into it, which is quite exciting. Hopefully, their budget covers all that CGI because it will be a lot.
yeah.
Um,
That's interesting about Stranger Things. I don't know how it works. Like, because I've seen like the latest seasons. Each episode is like an hour and a half long,
yeah,
and
kind
there's
of
like
the
nine.
last episode of season 4 was 2.5 hours as well. It's basically a
Yeah, so they're
movie.
like, I don't get how that works because they're like movie length episodes, but
Yeah,
they got a lot of
and
CGI in them. So
rumors I've heard are that season 5 will continue that. Most of the episodes are going to be over an hour in length. The last episode is
yeah,
said to be over 2 hours,
I have
which
seen that,
is quite
which is
interesting. Like
crazy.
I think I've heard they wanted a 10-hour long season adding up together, and
Wow.
it's very much the Infinity War of Stranger Things. Just based on
Yeah,
the trailer, it looks like they're
I
very
definitely got
much
the same that sort of vibe. Yeah,
yeah, they're very much putting everything together and bringing all the characters into one final confrontation. I did find it
yeah,
interesting, though, despite that, they really only gave attention to like 3 characters, though. Like, it was mainly just 11
yeah,
using some powers and what's his name? Vecna looking threatening from the shadows. But one thing that
yeah,
did. Yeah, there was one moment which I'm sure everyone's talking about online at the end of the trailer. Vecna kind of uses his powers to bring Will to him and basically says, "You're going to help me one last time." And that definitely got
that
my
that raises the
theorizing
question.
brain on.
Yeah, who do you think's gonna die? That's what everyone's talking about. Who do you think's gonna die?
I I have seen a popular theory that our lovable, the best character, Steve, is going to die, and
Yep.
I can 100% see that happening. I feel like that's a very likely scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Which
only
I
seen I've only seen season most of season one, but
yeah.
the fact that he's lasted this long and got, from what I've heard, gone on a big arc.
Oh, he went
You
on an
think
arc.
that's the
He's
next?
so good
Yeah,
now.
that's the next step. But
And I really hope he doesn't die. He's so much fun. I love him every time he's on screen, but it
yeah,
feels like
it'll
if
be
any
sad.
character is gonna like sacrifice themselves for the others, it's gonna be him.
Yeah,
Um,
and
that being
and when does
said,
that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
they're also not afraid of doing a whole bunch of fake out deaths, which they've done like 3 or 4 times now in this show.
Oh yeah.
The thing I was definitely interested in is, yeah, Vecna says he's gonna like use Will one last time. And the thing that
Hmm.
gets your brain thinking is there's a theory I've seen online that I actually really like and I think could definitely bring some attention to. And the theory goes that Vecna was originally the one who kidnapped Will in season 1, as opposed to the Demogorgon.
Well, that
Which
that would make a lot of sense because that's kind of like that's a huge part of the show, and it's just like, oh, he just randomly got stolen.
Yeah, and he just so
Like
happened
I
to
feel
be
like
the
you,
only survivor. Like when the girl
yeah,
later that season got kidnapped by the Demogorgon, she got kind of torn to shreds pretty quickly after that. But
yeah,
also in the opening scene of season 1 where Will gets taken, he kind of hides in his house, but then the lock is just magically undone. The Demogorgon has never shown that kind of powers, but Vecna has. So the theory goes
yeah.
that Vecna is the figure that he sees and is running away from, and I think there's some merit to that.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
I know the Duffer Brothers have actually teased themselves that we'll get answers to why Will was taken, so I reckon that theory has a lot of merit to it, and
yeah.
I'm just really excited to see this show get concluded. I think it's kind of funny. I only recently got into it, so I feel
Hmm.
like I've become a fan at the right time, but so many people have waited, what, 3 or 4 years for this season to come out. So
Yeah.
they've definitely got like a burden to do really well with this to make it kind of worth the wait. And the
Hmm.
trailer definitely gets you excited for that.
Yeah, for sure. And we only just got a trailer. Like, is this recent trailer like the first full trailer? Because there was a
Yeah,
teaser before.
there was a teaser before, but this is the first full trailer, and they definitely gave a lot. And as far as I know, the release date as well is not very far away.
It's like around Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I
I
think that's
think
what I heard.
from what I've heard, it releases in parts. I think one of them might be really late November or early December. One of them is closer to Christmas, and I think the finale is either Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. I don't remember which one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely going to be a huge release that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, it was a shame because earlier this year I was going to try and watch all of it in time for season 5, but I just never got around to it. So I'll have to
Just
watch it later,
gotta,
which is a shame.
yeah, just add it to the long watch list.
Yeah. All right. Um.
There are some
Okay.
other leaks we should probably look
An
at covering
interesting
as well.
story. Yeah. An interesting story. So we all know how like Minions movies, they're everywhere. Like we it seems like we get them like one a year. Like we've gotten 4 Despicable Me movies and like 2 spin-off Minion movies. Like it
They're
seems
just
like they're
such a
going to go on
good,
forever.
it's such a good like marketing tool for kids. Like you even see the minions in about every Illumination movie, which I
Yeah.
know that part got me super excited when I was watching the Mario movie.
Yeah. It's literally just like infinite money glitch for them.
Yeah, exactly. Plus
Um
toys, McDonald's
yes.
toys.
Yeah. Literally. And but funnily enough, so there's one coming out next year, which is crazy because it feels like we just got the last one. But anyway, there's a Minions 3 coming out next year.
Because
Um
naturally,
so they yeah. So they had a test screening and someone recorded the entire movie audio and leaked it online.
how did they get away with that? How did
Yeah,
someone
that's
pull that
crazy.
off?
That is crazy to me. Yeah, because well, to me, I think like, how does this happen? Doesn't happen more. Like, I guess because well, after this, they're clearly going to have much heavier restrictions. But like,
I'm
that's crazy.
surprised
Like,
stuff
imagine
like
if
this.
someone, yeah, imagine it happened with like Marvel movies and stuff
Yeah,
like
I'm
that. Like,
surprised it never happened with like Infinity War or Endgame way back in the day. I remember those
you know,
being the biggest movies of the century.
you must have to like give in your phones for like screenings. Well, also, this is like a Minions movie, so they can do test screenings earlier because it's not really like going to be huge spoilers
Yeah,
for stuff like Infinity War, like Avengers or whatever. They probably wouldn't do it this early. They'd do it closer to the release, and they'd if they do, and it'd be like heavy restrictions. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm not going to go into the details because like
yeah.
it kind of ruins the movie.
I haven't actually looked at the recordings. I just know they're out there.
Yeah, they're not from what I've heard, but you could probably find them pretty easy on like
Yeah.
Twitter or Reddit or whatever.
So if
But
anyone listening to this is interested, it shouldn't be hard to find. But on the other hand, you could also
but
just watch
you're
the
kind
movie
of
when that
ruining
comes
the
out.
experience. And yeah, but anyway, uh, it's what I'll just give basically what it's called is going to be Minions and Monsters, and
Yeah,
so
which I
from
love that. It kind of just
it's
gives me the vibes of the same name as Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah, and I think well, what I thought it was going to be was like another one with Gru as like a kid, but apparently this one is set between like the first movie and like the second movie, I think,
That'd
where it's
actually be
kind of
quite
like
interesting.
I think I could be wrong, but I think it's like set in like old Hollywood and they're trying to make a movie or something like that. That's all I heard, and it's gonna have like 3 new characters, so there's no more Bob and Kevin and all that. But
No, we're losing Bob. No, that sounds
yeah,
like it'd just be a fun time. It doesn't have to be the greatest movie of all time, but that just sounds like it'd be funny.
it's just gonna be another one. Like
Yeah.
they're all
It's
pretty much the
Minions.
same. I don't know.
If you're expecting much from a Minions movie, you might have a bit of misplaced faith there.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the other two, but I don't know. Interesting topic that crazy that the entire movie leaked.
Yeah,
Um,
and honestly, I think Illumination just needs to like get better at not having this happen. That's such a major blow to just happen like this.
yeah. Um, yeah, it's pretty rough. They will be very angry because that's the thing studios hate movies leaking. Because I remember a similar story, like one of the X-Men movies. I think the like Wolverine one, the old X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Ah, yeah.
That entire movie leaked online, which is funny. Well, wasn't finished yet, but like audio and the recordings, and they were furious. And because so many people just watched it online, downloaded it online, it actually like killed the box office. So I doubt this will happen with this because this is meant for like kids, and
Yeah.
obviously adults won't really care as much. But it'll be interesting to see if it affects it, and also will the Minions movies continue just to make like billions of dollars, like because
Or is it
every single
actually
one
going
is
to
made.
start losing them? Because it's starting to
Yeah,
feel like the movies are feeling a bit more generic, samey type
yeah,
films.
and like those kids growing up and moving on to different things, like you don't know because
Mm.
even with like Jurassic World, every single one used to make $1 billion. The most
But now
recent one
they've kind of fallen off a little
starting
bit.
going less. They're starting to not make as much. They're still making a lot, but not that much.
Yeah, it's very much just a thing of this has worked in the past, so we're going to keep doing it. But then they do it so much that you just start to wonder why you're still watching it.
Like to put it in perspective, um, like Minions Rise of Gru or whatever, that made double what Superman made.
Wow.
Double. That's
Wow.
kind of sad. That's kind of sad to think
That's
about.
unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah, because you think something like, oh, that's super mainstream, but it's like it's not as big as you think.
Hmm.
Um, like I thought Thunderbolts was huge because I saw it everywhere online. People were talking about it, but that made one of the least amount of money for a Marvel movie,
Which was
which is such a
crazy to
shame.
think about because, like, yeah, I remember I saw that in IMAX. First
Yeah,
IMAX experience. It was a great film. I remember loving every second of it and thinking this is exactly the type of stuff we want from Marvel. But then
yeah,
going online, it's complimented, but then it's just not doing as well as it feels like it should be.
yeah. Well, that's a whole other conversation about Marvel,
Yeah,
which I
that's a
could go
whole
on
separate
forever.
podcast episode.
But yeah, yes, totally. But okay.
There was
Should we?
speaking of Superman, there was
Yes.
a bit of rumors going on about that. That is a pretty cool thing to bring up. So there
Yeah.
is supposedly information about the villain coming into the next Superman movie, which by the way,
hmm
2027, that's one of many. That's
Stacked year.
stacked
Cannot wait.
year, but yeah. Sources seem to believe that we're going to be getting the villain Brainiac in Superman 2, and I have to say, I am fully on board with the idea of going for Brainiac. I have loved
Mm.
the iterations of him that I've seen so far.
Yeah. Well, the what happened was there's like a cast. Well, supposedly there was a casting call for the next villain, and it was the description was someone who was large statured and who could do a lot of prosthetics and makeup, and so it could. But I think most likely it would be Brainiac, but it's also possible something a character like Mongol or I don't know any other Superman villain. But also there's evidence of Brainiac because there was the image of the script with the photo of like a cross section of a brain, and so
Yeah.
everyone's thinking it's going to be Brainiac because it just everyone wants it. It's someone different to Lex. But yeah, do you know what the synopsis of the movie is?
I've heard rumors, at least. From what I've heard, it involves Clark and Lex having to team up
Yeah,
against Brainiac or whatever villain comes in, which could be
yeah,
quite fun. I absolutely loved this Lex Luthor. I thought he was brilliant. They
yeah,
definitely nailed it in this first movie, and it would be such a fun time seeing them try to work together while simultaneously having so much animosity to each other.
yeah. Like they made Lex like really hateable, like really hateable,
It
and I
was
don't
so
think
good.
this
Like,
movie. Yeah, I don't think this movie is gonna make him like a good guy again. Like it's not gonna be a full redemption arc, but it'll be interesting because they're such opposites. They
yeah,
literally hate each other.
Like Lex,
So
wasn't he creating like a whole bunch of spam hate posts online just for the
yeah,
sake of it?
literally, he got monkeys to write hate comments in a like pocket dimension, like next level hater.
Absolutely legendary move. And yeah, my hope for
Yeah,
Lex in the DCU as a whole is I very much
yeah,
want him to stay a villain. I hope he doesn't get a redemption arc. But I
yeah.
love the idea of him being recurring, potentially in future, maybe responsible for a Legion of Doom that we could see one day, or just kind of working
Mm,
behind the scenes while other villains do really annoying things. Like, I hope he continues showing up. I think if
yeah,
this version of Lex was written so well, it would be great to see him pop up like that.
yeah. I think that's what's really good about James Gunn's DCU so far is that they're literally like characters are crossing over so frequently, like already, and we've only had a few projects. Like, um, what's it called? Supergirl was in Superman, which was kind of like a
Yeah,
surprise to me. It felt like old MCU where characters would just show up because they're coming in the next movie, which was
yeah,
cool.
and she was also quite fun for those few seconds because who doesn't love seeing a superhero drunk?
Yeah, of course.
That's
Well,
just
that's
always
actually
a great
based.
time.
Yeah, that's based on like a comic run where she's like that, which is going to be based on the new movie. But yeah, but anyway, it's really cool to see. Um, I think Lex will be such a cool recurring villain. I think a movie where it's James Gunn has said it's as much as a Lex movie as a Superman, which is
Yeah,
really cool because
100%.
I want to see both of them and go more deeper in them because that's kind of the one of the issues with the first Superman movie. Lex was kind of he was good, but he was quite one dimensional. It was
Yeah.
very just like evil for the sake of evil. We want it'd be cool to see why he's like that and
Yeah,
who
like
he is.
my favorite, I've gone on record, and I will continue to go on record and say this. My favorite version of Lex Luthor is the one from Smallville, which,
Yeah,
to be fair, 10 season advantage, so it's a
mm,
little bit unfair to a point, but like he did get so much depth into building him up as a villain. I
yeah, I
absolutely
have heard that.
loved his dynamic through the whole show, and I would love to see other iterations of Lex, like this new one, get a bit more attention, kind of like that. Obviously, not to the level of being on a 10 season, 20 episodes per season run, but
Yeah, but
definitely
it's
depth like that is really good.
yeah complexity. I think he's a character that lends himself to some complexity,
Hmm.
but also one thing I want to see is him and the Joker teaming up. I think that's such a funny dynamic because he's like the straight man and the Joker's like just wild. I think that's just such a funny interaction. That's on
I
my
would
wish list.
I would like to take that wish list and add Reverse Flash to it because Reverse Flash is the greatest hater of all time,
Yeah, I was
and
literally
having
thinking
him
you would
with
say
Lex would
that.
be great.
Yeah, two haters together. That's great. That's
With
awesome.
Chaos and the Joker. That'd be such a fun Legion of Doom type. Let's make it
I
happen,
know.
James
I'd
Gunn. Come
love
on.
that. Oh, no, come on, yeah, come on. I'd love that. That would be sick. Um, okay, and we'll move on to our final topic. We'll just quickly go through. So, the Avatar movies, we all know. No one even talks about them, but somehow they make nearly $3 billion, which is just it's just
Like I
absurd how much money they
I
make.
don't think I have heard anything about the second Avatar movie except that it made a lot of money.
Yeah, everyone just watches them because they look really cool. They watch them in like IMAX or whatever, and they look amazing, and then they just move on. But they
Yeah.
consistent like the first one is made $2.9 billion, which is just absurd. Like
Wasn't it, at
nothing is
least for a
even
time,
close.
like the biggest movie in
It still
terms
is.
of box office? Oh, that's
It's
crazy.
more than Endgame, which is just
Yeah.
crazy. And even the sequel that came out like um 13 years later still made
Yeah.
$2 billion. So they're
So
big
some
movies.
they've got to be doing something right if that's the case.
Now, a lot of people go there, a lot of people are watching them. And
Mm.
so studios are like, let's put our trailers there because millions of people are going to be there to see them. So it's a perfect way to promote their other movies. So,
Which brings us down to some rumors that have been coming on. So
mm,
theoretically, and now obviously, as far as I know, this is not confirmed, but a lot of rumors seem to speculate that we may be getting a tease for Avengers Doomsday and slash or Brand New Day,
Yeah,
which in itself is exciting, but those are not even the only ones as far as I've heard.
yeah. But just on those, um, what I've heard about the Doomsday trailer is that it's not just like a I don't know how reliable this is. Take it with a grain of salt. But it's not just going to be like a logo reveal or just like a quick 1 second thing. Like it's going to be like a trailer with substance that's going to show off Doctor Doom and actually show us what we want to see.
I really hope so, because the last teaser we got was a whole bunch of chairs.
Yeah, yeah. We
Which
know like
somehow,
next to nothing about this
I would
movie.
like to say this quickly on the record. Legendary move
Yeah,
by Marvel, making people sit for 5 hours watching chairs and nothing else.
yeah. I
Absolute
remember.
geniuses for that.
I remember that day. I was literally like flicking through, checking it every once in a while throughout the day, and I would just sit there and it would took so excruciatingly long to move to the other one. It was
And
so annoying. It
then
was like 10
and
minutes
then a few
between each
hours
one.
after it finished, they just released a 2 minute version of that anyway, which is what
Yeah.
I woke up to.
Yeah. Anyway, that's funny. But also, I think Spider-Man is very likely as well because that comes out in July. Spider-Man's huge. No Way Home made a ton of money. So they're going to want to show it off nice and early.
Yeah,
Um
and hopefully the like obviously we've heard the rumors that I have no idea if they're confirmed or not, but hopefully actually official reveals on other characters who will be showing up, including a certain Daredevil character that I am really excited by the idea of him being in there.
yeah, we're getting like the three big or some of the biggest Marvel characters from like the olden day. Like back when Marvel wasn't the MCU, like the big characters were Wolverine, Punisher, Spider Man, Hulk, Ghost Rider. So we're getting like most of them in this movie. We're getting Spider Man, Punisher, and Hulk, which I think
Yeah,
is
which
because they're trying to find
that's
a way to top No Way Home or at least be on par with it while doing a street level. And I think
that
this is an interesting way of doing it.
yeah, it's definitely a tough thing that obviously we could do a whole separate episode on this. That I think Marvel
Mm.
has been in a point of there are just movies that they have to top the last one, which has been a problem I've seen since Endgame. But I reckon if anything can do it, Spider Man could.
Yeah, I hope it's about character interactions rather than spectacle. Because I
Yeah,
think the Punisher is an interesting character. He was very well written in the Daredevil show and the Punisher show, from what I've heard. And so I hope it's very much character based and they
yeah,
have interesting interactions.
and I'd really love interaction with Bruce and Peter because I think there's so much room to build either backstory or off of their respective lives after Stark's death.
Yeah.
I
They
don't
were both
actually
friends
think
of him.
I don't actually think they've interacted with each other at any point in the MCU
No,
yet.
I don't think they have really, yeah.
So it won't be as badly affected by the fact that technically no one knows who Peter Parker is at the moment.
Yeah.
Which I
But
hope that plays a huge role in this. I would like to see No Way Home have consequences and it not just
yeah.
be quickly undone or forgotten.
Well, um Zendaya and Jacob Batalong, Ned and Zendaya both said to come back, but I think they only have small roles. So maybe if it's
I
just like a little tease that they're gonna come back
yeah.
together at the end, maybe.
I
But
hope
I
it's
hope they
small
aren't.
roles personally. I
Yeah,
respect the love
me
that
too.
those characters get. I think Ned is amazing, but
Yeah, he's the best.
I have been saying this for a long time. I don't really want them to do much, if anything, in any
Yeah,
future Spider-Man films. I just want them to move on and show that movies have consequences because too
yeah,
many times an event happens and then no one talks about it again.
yeah. They're so quick to just undo it. Like, but yeah. Anyway, um, and also other trailers. It's crazy because it's usually for these big movies you have like one big trailer before it. Like Fantastic Four had the Avatar trailer, but this is
Yeah.
gonna have multiple because that's how big it is. So we could also see a new trailer for Mando and Grogu, which we'll talk about later.
100%.
Um, we could also see a Supergirl trailer, which is supposed to come out early on next. Oh, it's about July next year, I think.
Wow, everything
And
just
also,
loves coming out in the middle of the year.
well, it's summer in America.
Yeah.
People are on holiday, so that's when most people go to cinemas. So yeah, but
Just wait
also,
till that time in 2027. Anyway, keep going.
yes, it'll be insane that week. Anyway, um, and then also Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Um, yeah, have you seen many Christopher Nolan movies?
Not that
Like,
I can think of off the top of my head. I probably have that I
like
just don't
yeah,
remember.
like he did the Dark Knight trilogy,
Well, I have
Inception.
seen those.
Yeah, well,
Inception was
you should.
good.
Oh, you've seen Inception? Yeah, I
I've
like
seen
Inception a
at
lot.
least most of it. I don't remember if I finished it that night and then forgot to turn it back on, but I know I've at least started it. Inception was just
Yeah.
fun.
Well, he always has these interesting concepts that he does. Have you seen? I
Yeah.
think you've seen The Prestige. Have you?
I have seen The Prestige. That was
Yeah, he
quite the
did that.
film.
Yeah, he does interesting like concepts in his films. But this one is going to be set in like ancient Greece, and it's going to deal with like the gods and stuff like that. It has Tom
Yeah.
Holland and John Bernthal
Naturally.
as well, which is
Naturally.
funny. It's got like similar cast to what's it called? Of Brand New Day, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So
Bro, those
still a
actors
time.
just getting better at working together.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see you. Okay. I think it's time we get on to our main topic. So
100%.
we're just going to talk about like the upcoming Star Wars projects because Star Wars has been in a pretty, it's safe
Weird
to say, pretty
space.
bad place in
It's
recent
such a
years.
strange time to be a Star Wars fan.
Like, you think when Disney bought Star Wars, they'd be pumping out movies like yearly. We haven't had a movie in 6 years, which is just crazy to think
2019.
about. Yeah. And we won't have one till next year, which is just
Yeah.
and but yeah. Let's get on to Mandalorian and Grogu. A trailer came out. No one cared. It's really,
It
which
was
is really
quite
sad.
the reaction.
It's
Like
kind of sad to think about.
I can imagine if this trailer had come out a couple of years ago, closer to when The Mandalorian started,
Mm,
everyone would be on its back about it. And there is a few things about the trailer that got me personally really excited, but then some other things where I just thought, how is this any different? And I would
yeah,
imagine that's probably what went through most fans' heads. And so they just saw it, they thought, oh, that's happening. And then they kind of just remembered there are other things they were more focused on.
yeah. It just looks like another season of the show, and that's kind of the problem with these new Disney Plus shows. They have like
Mm.
huge budgets, so they're just going to look like movies. They look like on par with movies. So people are just going to think, oh, the move from a TV show to a movie isn't that big, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's just like it's just the same thing, you
Yeah.
know?
And
Same
honestly, I
sort of
have seen
scale.
that. I have seen that before happen with franchises. Like, as I'm sure plenty
Yeah,
of people would be aware, Star Trek has done plenty of movies in the past. And with the exception of the three Chris Pine movies, most of the others do just kind of feel like double length episodes that have slightly more
yeah.
budget.
There was like I think I heard there was like a Star Trek movie that just went straight to streaming. I think
Yeah, there was. I haven't even watched
with
that one yet.
yeah, and it had like big actors in it, but like it like no one watched it. Like
Yeah,
it
no,
was just
everyone.
just
I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I still haven't seen it. I just
and that
kind of
was
keep
like
forgetting it's there.
niche for Star Trek, which is already kind of niche. So
Yeah,
it's like yeah, anyway. Um but yeah, I think the movie like the trailer looks fine. I think it'll be interesting. Like they're bringing like Jabba the Hutt's son
yeah.
as like a
That he's a
gladiator or
pro
whatever.
wrestler. That's pretty exciting, and I'm excited to see my boy Zeb coming back.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's a part of the New Republic now, so we might see more of that sort of stuff. But
Yeah, and
we don't even know
hopefully,
who like sorry, we don't even really know who like the main villain is really. Like, is it just like I don't know? It looks kind of small scale even
Yeah.
smaller scale than like season 2. And this is a movie, so this is,
Mm.
I don't really know if this is a good choice to make it a movie. Like,
I
uh,
guess we'll find out. My hope is that in some
mm,
way it starts like properly building up to either what's about to happen in Ahsoka season 2, which we'll get into a bit later,
yeah,
or maybe an Heir to the Empire movie or something like that, because obviously Zeb's coming in for a reason. He's part of the main Rebels team. The main Rebels team with Ahsoka and Mando could form like the main group going up against Thrawn later on, but at the moment we have just no idea what's going on.
yeah. Because I remember like after Ahsoka came out, which was like over 2 years ago, they were like, we're gonna make a
Wow.
big movie with like all the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and the rebels and all that fighting Thrawn, but we haven't heard anything about that. Just nothing. So is that happening? I don't know. Don't know what
I'm
it's
hoping.
called.
I'm hoping, but at
Uh,
the same time, is it just going to get quietly shut down like a few other projects have in the past?
like like the hundreds of projects that were announced. You know, after The Last Jedi, they announced a trilogy directed by Ryan Johnson, who did Last Jedi.
Yeah, we
That
haven't gotten a
happened.
trilogy.
Yep.
And it's so unfortunate now because I remember like I still remember seeing the Force Awakens trailer for the first time. That was a
Oh,
good day. And then all the
yes.
hype in the build up to that, I remember all the theorizing, all the excitement. And
Hmm.
what happened? Now we're at a point where we've got a Star Wars movie coming. Like we've got
But no one
another
cares.
movie and no one's talking about it. No one really thinks about it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not even the only movie that we know is coming soon as well. So I
Yeah.
certainly miss the hype.
Yeah, it used to feel like an event. Like, and when say an event, I mean like once in a lifetime event almost.
Yeah. Now
Like,
the cinema feel of The Force Awakens is the once in a lifetime Star Wars moment for me.
I remember
Because I obviously
like,
wasn't around back in Phantom Menace being released, and I've
yeah,
heard from my dad about all the hype about that. But for us, that was The
yeah,
Force Awakens, and it
that
doesn't
was
look like we're
our,
going to get that. Yeah, and it doesn't look like we're going to get that kind of hype anytime soon, which is quite unfortunate.
yeah. I don't mind them going like smaller scale. Like that's fine. Dial it back just to smaller scale stuff. But like, is this your big return back to the movies? This? Like,
I'm open
it's
to it being
questionable.
pleasantly surprising, but they've
Yeah,
really got to be careful because if they release this movie and it's just kind of mid, then it's going to be really hard to get us excited for anything for a
yeah.
long
I, f-
time.
I feel like it'd be worse. Like if they didn't release something, I think that would be better than it just being mid. Because if you
Yeah.
have all this years without it, where everyone's just losing interest, it's just losing interest, and then you do another movie, and it's just mid and forgettable, you
Mm.
just kill it again, and it's like we don't want Star Wars to die.
I
We don't
really
want it to
wanted to
die.
keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
think this
I'm
movie will do like I think it'll do all right, but I don't think it'll be nearly at the level as like the other movies. And it'd be kind of bad if it was like Solo, where it just completely flops, which is a
yeah.
risk of that happening.
Well, I guess all we can really do is just see what happens.
Yeah,
I really hope it does well. Many people who know me know I'm a huge defender of a lot of Star Wars projects that other people don't seem to really like.
yeah,
But even if this movie is just fine, like good, enjoyable, but not great, then it's gonna cause more problems than it's gonna solve, even if it's not as bad as some other movies have been received that we're not gonna particularly name right now.
yeah. Because if it's mid, you're just telling people you're right. Star Wars is now forgettable and mid. You're just like confirming what people think, so they're just gonna be like, "Oh, it is bad."
And that's
Like
not the
with
mindset
Marvel,
you ever want to give fans.
yeah,
Look what happened with most of Phase 4 Marvel.
yeah. Marvel kind of did that because we kept getting like bad stuff, and then we come to Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, which are pretty decent. They're up to like they're pretty good for Marvel, and
Mm.
then they just didn't do that great. Like they did all right, but they didn't do like what they used to do.
I
And
think
so
the real test for Marvel is going to be when Doomsday comes out, because Spider-Man's definitely going to make its money pretty much regardless. But Avengers is going to be the real test of if they've killed the entire fan interest or if they can get us back.
yeah, because by then people like don't care about cameos anymore
Mm.
because that's how Deadpool and Wolverine made its money. You know,
Yeah.
that's how like the only successful, mostly the successful movies after Endgame had a lot of cameos in it. And
Mm.
do people not care about that anymore? People are sick of that. Like that trick doesn't work anymore. So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. It's interesting.
Oh, but my mic unplugged.
Yeah, all good.
Oh, we're back. All right.
Um,
But yeah, that's definitely
we,
not the only movie we've got to talk about. There is
yep,
another one coming the year after, interestingly enough,
Star Wars Starfighter.
which I know
So
nothing about. I haven't actually heard or looked up much of any information beyond its name.
it was announced earlier this year. They just said it's happening out of nowhere. It was one of those rare things where it's like not at all rumored, nothing. It just popped out of nowhere. It's like,
Which
oh,
I like when that can happen. Like, they can
yeah, it's good
surprise you
to
with
be
something that you would have
surprised.
never seen coming. But also, what exactly is this about?
Well, what we do know is it's starring Ryan Gosling and Amy Adams. Uh, Pretty cool actors. I don't know, but it's being set after the Rise of Skywalker. I think about 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, right.
So I think, and we've got like one image of him, Ryan Gosling, the main guy, and like a kid. So
Yeah.
there's going to be some sort of dynamic there. Starfighter, maybe he was part of the Republic, the New Republic, or
Yeah.
something.
The
I don't
New
know.
Republic. I love the idea of exploring times after the Rise of Skywalker. Personally,
Yeah,
there are a lot of things I would love to see happen, but they've got to be really, really careful because approaching that time period specifically, they've got to do a lot to make fans interested in that. Because I remember the reception after the Rise of Skywalker and in more recent years.
yeah. Well, that raises like an interesting topic. With the sequels, they didn't do. I don't think they did world building very well because it
Mm.
was just essentially like the rebels and the Empire. Just again, like they had stormtroopers, Tie fighters. It all looked the same.
Yeah.
When we went back to the prequels, the galaxy was like completely different. Like new droids, new ships, new characters, whatever. The sequels were too scared to do anything different.
Which
Hopefully,
I kind of get why,
I get why.
but
At the time, it made sense.
there's definitely points of either too careful or too ambitious, I guess.
Yeah, totally. I just hope they do something interesting. You know, have like new factions,
Yeah.
have like bounty hunters, have like gangsters, crime lords. Do
I mean,
something different. You know.
I mean, in episode 7, the New Republic was destroyed. Surely that leaves like a whole bunch of room for criminals to start thriving.
Yeah, because if you just do like the New Republic again, and it's just like exactly the same, where it's just kind of like vague, and they don't like because in the prequels they used to do like so much world building and like here's the Republic and the Jedi, and it was all like order and it was all thought out. The
Yeah.
sequels, it's just like really vague about it. They're like, there's a resistance, they're the New Republic, but they're not, and it's just very vague. So I want them to like, because it's a new era we're going into. I hope they do something interesting with that.
Yeah.
I think. But
100%.
anyway, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully, this is
That
fun.
I think that's more of a thing that we could just talk about more when a trailer comes out. I hope
Yeah,
it's
we don't
good.
know much.
I yeah, I hope it's good. I love the idea of approaching that time period, even if not everyone does. So I guess we'll see what happens. But there are certainly projects coming soon that we can speculate a lot more about.
Okay,
For
so
example, more Shadow Lord.
yeah,
which I
Um,
was completely. I remember my reaction. Like, I think I had a jaw drop reaction realizing they were doing a project about Darth Maul.
yeah. Well, it's gonna be, I think, one of those like Clone Wars style shows again. Because
Yeah.
after season 7 and all the nostalgia for the Clone Wars, they're just going crazy with making spin-offs and all that. But and yeah, I think everyone's reaction to this is, haven't we got enough more? Because this is going to be set before Rebels. So we basically have all the Clone Wars, and then we have between Rebels, and then we have Rebels. Like we have his entire life basically in the show, every era. But
Which is just kind of hilarious to think about because he
yeah,
went from being a character with like two lines. He had one of the coolest lightsaber fights, but he only really had two lines, and he was just kind of insignificant in the grand scheme of things. To now
yeah,
being one of the biggest, well-known Star Wars villains.
yeah. Um, I think it's interesting because I feel like it's kind of happening the same thing that happened with Ahsoka, who's just in everything. We just know like
Yeah,
everything about. I feel like the same thing's happening, but at the same time, it'd be cool having a show where it's purely about Maul. It's about him as the main character,
mm.
and apparently he's going to be like training a new apprentice, like which would be pretty cool. I think it's based on. Do you know who Darth Talon is?
I have heard the name before.
Like the Twi'lek that looks like Darth Maul.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's like it's like a Legends character, and it's I
yeah,
think they're bringing that into the canon, so that would be kind
yeah.
of interesting to see.
It's
Um,
funny they're gonna make this show, but I'm willing to bet they're not going to acknowledge what happened in Solo at all.
yeah. I mean, they might in the fact that he's like running a crime syndicate,
Yeah,
maybe.
but that was also established in the Clone Wars. But there was
Yeah.
what Han's other ex-girlfriend who
Yeah, I
apparently
doubt
works for
she's in
Maul
it.
now that we're just never going to acknowledge again.
Yeah, I
Top 10
doubt she's
plot
in it.
threads we'll never hear from.
Um, but yeah, in terms of like a character, what do you do? Like we've already discovered him. We've already like gone into him being a Sith and how he hates Palpatine. We've got the revenge of Kenobi. We've seen him like die. Like we know what happens. I'm
And
interested to see what he
he
goes into this time because we've
yeah,
already done like everything.
and I'm already like quite happy with his ending. Like that episode with him hunting Obi-Wan on Tatooine in Rebels is an absolute masterpiece, and I
Hmm.
think it was a great way to end that story, but now he's a popular character. He makes more money. Let's do more with him. Let's see what happens. I just
Yeah,
hope it doesn't feel forced.
but yeah. I think that's one thing Dave Filoni does. He loves his characters. Like
Yeah.
he loves Ahsoka. He just wants to keep bringing her back, even though I think she probably should have just stayed dead in Rebels. Controversial, but I don't know. He loves his characters, but I think I like him as a character. He's cool. It's a
Yeah.
cool new era. There'll be lightsabers in it. I don't know. It'll be
This
cool.
is true. This is
I
true.
think it'll be cool.
Lightsabers are a pretty big gold mine.
And we could, I think there's a very good chance we could continue to see threads from the Clone Wars. Like we could see
Yeah.
Cad Bane, Boba Fett, maybe. I don't know. But it could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when Star Wars animation is concerned, there's so many things they have left open to continue on at some point, especially with the idea of cancelling 40 something Clone Wars episodes, but still considering them
Yeah.
canon. There's plenty of stories you can bring up again.
Yeah. Um yeah. Could be fun. And we could yeah. It comes out next year, I think. So it's not even that far away.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah,
That's
it
great. I
comes out
haven't heard
next year,
anything
yeah.
beyond the name reveal. If that's coming that soon, that's
Yeah.
kind of
Well, it's
wild.
just like because it's animated, you don't really hear much about it until like the first trailer.
Yeah, true.
And I think we there's a good chance we could also see like another Tales of whatever next year.
Yeah. Which I like the tales of shows. I think if they're good in the sense that they definitely give me some things that I really enjoy. They gave me some stories that I loved seeing built on. But on the other hand, what was wrong with just making them into actual Clone Wars story arcs?
Yeah, just make it like the length of like do like 12 episodes, but like 20-minute long. Like make them full
Yeah.
length, and you can have the three different or the two different stories or the three different stories. Um, yeah, that's the thing because they were so short. Everyone just forgot about them like immediately,
They just need to
and
give themselves a bit more room to work with.
they felt like they were just showing things you wanted to see rather than giving like a full story. Like it
Yeah,
was
and then
just
some of them didn't even end the story. Like in Tales of the Empire, Barriss kind of got left even more open ended than before. Like,
yeah,
wasn't the whole point to explain the end of the story?
yeah. Like I and with what they did with Dooku, I really liked. I really liked it. I just would have liked to see more. It just felt like
Yeah.
we were just like running through the plot points
Mm.
rather than giving a full story.
Yeah,
But anyway,
100%.
we should probably move on to Ahsoka
Yeah.
because we're running out of time. But
So, Ahsoka
but
Season 2 is a thing that is coming at some point soon.
yeah,
I remember the
um,
reception to Season 1 was not exactly united as far as I know. There are
mm,
some people I've heard who just hated it, some people who liked it. The opinion that I share is that it's pretty mixed. Like there are
yeah,
some awesome moments. I particularly love the World Between Worlds episode. But then there are
mm,
also some points of was that really necessary? Could they have handled that differently? Like Sabine being developed into a Force user just felt slightly forced at the end, no pun intended.
yeah. I think Ahsoka I think like in terms of world building, pretty cool, but also like dumb at the same time. Like the New Republic is dumb. Like
Yeah,
they go to another universe and it just looks like any old planet. Like
and the whole reason of them not wanting to address Thrawn's potential return for the sake of it, like realistically, even just the mild threat of someone that dangerous coming back should be more than enough to provoke action. But
yeah,
because Ahsoka and Sabine needed to do that themselves, they couldn't get help.
yeah. It's got like the thing about that show is it's got cool ideas, like cool
Yeah,
classic Star Wars stuff. But the problem is Dave Filoni's not the best writer.
yeah,
No disrespect, I love him, but he's not the best writer. Um, yeah, there's just so many plot holes and conveniences. And Thrawn, he's cool. He's got like cool moments, but he's written really badly. Like he just lets stuff happen because it's part of the greater plan.
yeah.
But
And also, I said this with The Rise of Skywalker. I need to say it again here. Where do these maps come from that point to people?
yeah, it's just kind of lazy and how they do
Like,
it.
it was dumb in The Rise of Skywalker, but it doesn't feel much better here either.
Yeah, yeah, and even with the Force Sabine being a Force user, it kind of just takes away like some of the like specialness of being a Jedi. Like she just kind of trains for a minute and then she can just use it like any
Yeah.
other Jedi. It's
And
like
I don't mind the idea of developing her into a Force user, but it needs to feel a lot more earned
it needs
because,
to be earned.
yeah,
Yeah.
it the Force is established as a thing that binds all living things, and there are
Hmm.
plenty of moments where other characters outside of the Jedi or Sith seem to channel it. Like, for example, in the Clone Wars season 7, it appears that when Ahsoka is trying to help Rex, he's also able to channel the Force a little bit with her, which
Yeah.
leads to them locating an inhibitor chip somehow. Like, the Force is there for everyone, but
Yeah.
Jedi are able to channel it more easily due to, I think, midichlorians or something. There's always something special about them, and so anyone outside of that definitely needs to go through a lot more effort before they can do what Sabine was doing.
Yeah. Um.
But yeah, as
But
for
yeah. Moving like as for season 2, yeah. Um. I really not sure how they'll go with this. I guess
It
because
it
I don't
feels
know if
like
this movie's gonna happen, like, or are they gonna end the story here? Like, I'm not really sure
yeah. I feel
where
like
this is going.
Ahsoka season 2 is going to be the focal point for essentially how Star Wars is the main Star Wars story going on at the moment, and
Yeah,
potentially even Star Wars as a whole, how it's going to look going down the road. Like, will it come back? Will it be exciting? Will it start
yeah,
building things up again, or is it just going to flop to the point where we all completely stop caring? I feel like
yeah,
that's going to be one of the major projects that decides how things look from now. And I think it's got a great opportunity ahead of it because they've got some great characters in, some awesome things they can build up to, and if
yeah.
they play their cards right, Ahsoka season 2 is going to be awesome. But
Yeah.
if
I
they
hope.
kind of
Sorry.
just if they kind of just leave open stupid plot holes or rush through it a little bit or have things happen for the sake of it, then it's just going to feel like, well, what kind of story are you really telling? Because this isn't super engaging. It's just convenience. And then we're going to stop caring.
Yeah, I hope they learn their lessons from season one because
Yeah.
there's still potential there.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's plenty of TV shows where, like, the season 1 has some good stuff, but it's still finding its feet or learning how to best handle things. And then the
100%.
season 2 gets a bit better. And I can only hope that happens here because I quite like a lot of Ahsoka season 1, even with some of the problems. And I like the potential directions this show can go. Plus, the characters are awesome.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I just hope they improve. Um, but one thing there is to consider, the actor who played Balin Skull in season one, he died sadly, and they're recasting him with a new guy. I don't. I think this actor. I don't know the actor very well, but I think they're pretty established. They've done stuff. I don't think it'll make a big deal. It's a
Yeah.
shame that the last guy couldn't do season two because he was really good. Ray
Yeah.
Stevenson, he was really fantastic. But hopefully we can progress that story because that was kind of interesting in season
Yeah.
one.
And I
Um,
that's one thing where I hope the fan reception doesn't just start complaining because
yeah,
there's not really much you can do about it when an actor passes away, but there's character story kind of needs to continue on. So
yeah,
I would like to see that go well.
yeah. I think hopefully we can move past that. But yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah, should be good.
I think
Um,
that pretty much covers it everything. So essentially the main question, could Star Wars come back? I think these next few projects are going to be the most pivotal in answering that. They really need to lock in and do
hmm,
well, specifically now more than ever, in order to keep it going. Because if not, then we could potentially see Star Wars completely fall off to a point that's completely unimaginable 10 years ago.
which would just be so sad. I just hope they. I think what they need to do is find something that works and then just really stick to it and go all in on
Yeah.
what works. Get some really good creatives, get some people who can write well, direct, and then just continue with that and continue. If fans like it, continue with that. And I think that's most
Yeah.
important.
So
But anyway,
I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Or listening if you are, because you're
Or
welcome to have
listening.
this
Yeah.
in the background. Hope
Yeah.
this will be a continuing, ongoing thing. We'll be covering a wide range of topics, movie related, and covering a whole bunch of news that comes out. So feel free to subscribe or follow. I'll see you soon.